The What It Takes Radio Company presents our premier program, the flagship, which is the Interesting Ideas Podcast. And today we're under the banner of the Jesus Entrepreneur Experience. And here's the deal. Did God really say you don't have the guts? Well, what's that all about? Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Stan Houston once again. And of course, what I really am all about is being the radio man. So I'm going to bring my microphone on just so you don't forget that this is important. You need to know that if you want to be successful in life, you need to have right in front of you, you can just grab it like I did. You can have a microphone and you can be your own radio broadcaster with your own radio station and with a variety of radio programs that go all over the world. You have that capability. You can do that. I know you can do it. Interesting Ideas is just that. It's an attempt to help us all be a little more interesting, have a little more insight, influence, impact, have a good income. That's right. We want our life to be better now, and we want to be able to share that better life with others. And so I'm coming to you today from another one of our banner companies. This is the Christian Entrepreneur Network, better known as the Jesus Entrepreneur Experience. And that is designed to help you understand that the man is not only what he claimed to be, but he can be a real example for how you can not only live a life, but build a business. Yeah, he was a master teacher and he was a master builder. And you can learn a lot about how to make your business work just by kind of looking at the man and how he built a world-class company in 3 years. That's what the Jesus Entrepreneur Experience is all about. And I think you'll find it exciting and challenging and interesting and maybe profitable and fruitful. Good words, profitable and fruitful. Remember that, okay? Today, you caught the title. Yes, did God really say, you haven't got the guts? Did God really say that? Well, the 7 magic words. Please let me tell you a story. Here we go. My friend, his name is Randy, and I call him kind of with a smile, he's the cat cowboy. That's right, he's the cat cowboy. He is a cowboy. And he has had so many adventures in his life as a veteran, as a police officer, as a preacher, as a cowboy. And he's had some real, he should be dead. I mean, some of the accidents, the horse wrecks, the things he's gone through, which, as he would say, it's probably only by grace that we aren't all dead. If you look back at your life, there are probably cases where your death was just seconds from being avoided. You may not even know it. And I thought about that. And I remembered the one time where just at the last minute, I saw a car coming and I swerved quickly. And I often thought, if I would have been a second longer, I could have been killed. I'm grateful that I saw it just then. So, he's the cat cowboy. And maybe all of us have a little cat in us. Maybe every time you see a cat, whether you like it or not, you may say, thank you, God, that I still have some lives left in me, too. Well, Randy told me the story, and it really got me to thinking. And the reason it got me to thinking was he told it really got him thinking. Randy was trying to help some guy who had really messed up his life. That's what he does. He did that. He worked a lot with prison inmates for many years, teaching them how to get their life back together by training horses. And it was a good deal. Well, here's what happened. He says that he was in a bar, and it wasn't just a bar. It was a four-letter word bar. It was a dive in a sense. And he was talking to this guy and trying to, help get him to come around and, follow the way and, get his life together. And yeah, preacher, I get you, I know. And and then he said, well, maybe next time. He said, just as I was walking out, all of a sudden it came to me as if God had said to me, tell him you haven't got the guts to do it. You haven't got the guts to do it. He said, I paused. I said, where did that come from? And he said, just it came to me again. And so he said, I walked back to the man and said, I hope someday you can find the way. But right now, you haven't got the guts to do it. Wow, what an impact. As I oftentimes say, whenever you can, make your messages memorable. And that would certainly be a memorable one to a guy who thought he was really tough, because that was his deal. He was a tough guy. He was really tough. And that was his persona. That's the way he was playing life. And obviously he'd been in a number of tough situations, and he'd caused most of them, and he had beat his way out of a number of fisticuffs. He was a tough guy. And so he said to him, you haven't got the guts to do it. And in telling me this story, he says, I still don't know if that was the right thing, but it seemed the right thing, and it seemed that that's what I was supposed to say. And so I said it. And I thought about that. I thought about that a lot, because, what I have discovered is that, by the way, the word, now I don't know, is this showing my age? Of course, a lot of things are showing my age, but we were told that we shouldn't use the word guts. That was kind of a little bit of a vulgar word, hard to believe. I remember hearing this when I was young, and there was a smiley word that would mean the same thing, and it was, you don't have intestinal fortitude. And that's kind of a clever saying, but I must have heard that back when I was 10, 11 years old. So, intestinal fortitude. Say intestinal fortitude, Stanley, not guts. Means the same thing, but it's a little more polite. Okay. I don't know why I remember that, but I do. Okay. So I've oftentimes found out that that's something I'd like to say, as I said to some of my clients would like to say. I'd never said it to them, as I mentioned yesterday, is, don't listen to stupid people. And then there are times where I've seen people be challenged. They want to change. They want to do something. They want to take advantage. And I try and say, remember, RISK, risk, is a four-letter word for life. There are no safe spaces. There is no security. Life is dangerous. It always is and always will be. And particularly if you want to be fully alive and really live it, you will be in places that are full of high adventure. And the definition of a word adventure is you're not quite sure how it's going to end. That's what makes it an adventure. A trip has a destination. An adventure is more than a destination. It is, you're not quite sure just how it's all going to work out. Going down the Grand Canyon River might be, as they would say, an adventure. And as one of my friends in the Cowboy Up podcast program has said, tennis is a sport. Chess is a game. But riding a horse is an adventure, because it's as if the ball had a mind of its own. Yeah, I mean, it's not just how well you can ride a horse. It also depends on the horse. So it's an adventure. So I'm just going to caution myself and yet encourage myself um, to think a little bit that way from time to time. When I'm in tough situations, when I'm not sure what to do, um, is the issue of courage. Because I know this for sure. Success all comes down to courage. It does. True success comes down to being courageous, both in life, in business, and in faith, in family, relationships. Courage counts a lot. And so maybe sometimes when I'm being too cautious, I look up and say, God, do I have a guts problem? You know, are you telling me that maybe I just don't have the guts to do this? That I don't trust you enough? That, maybe some of my difficulties, some of my failures, some of my things that I don't particularly like, did it come down to the fact that I just didn't have the guts? You don't have the guts to do it. Did God really say that? Well, we're told that from time to time, Jesus basically said to people who wanted to follow him, hey, this is tough stuff. This ain't going to be easy. If you do the right thing in the right way so you get the right stuff, as one of my friends said, please keep in mind, he said, if you want to be a hero, and by the way, I'm in the business of making you a hero because you are one, you can be one. He says, please remember, it will be 10 times harder than you think it will be. It will take 10 times longer than you think it will. And it will cost 10 times as much as you think it will. Malcolm Gladwell said, if you want to be good, it takes 10,000 hours of practice. My uncle, who was a world famous piano player, he said, after one of his many concerts in the piano organ, people would come up and say, oh, that was wonderful. I wish I could play the piano like you. Well, no, they may wish it, but the way he plays the piano is he's put in a lot more than 10,000 hours. And of course, that may be, as we say, What It Takes Radio. That's the name of our company. We're in the business of asking ourselves the question and asking each other, what do you want in your life? What do you really want? What's your passionate want? What's your deep gladness? What makes you come fully alive? What do you want? Now, do you have what it takes? Do you have what it takes? Let's find out. And what I would assure you, what It Takes Radio is all about is teaching you what it takes and help you to gain maybe a little bit of the guts, the intestinal fortitude to give it a try and to actually learn how to be a entrepreneur, a world-class entrepreneur. The Jesus entrepreneurs are all seeking to be the best, world-class entrepreneurs. And whatever you are involved in, whether it's gardening or accounting or baking tacos, whatever, do you want to be one of the best? In effect, maybe it is God saying, are you sure? Do you have the guts to make this so? Well, as they used to say in Star Trek, remember, it's up to you. Make it so. I'm Stan Houston for the Jesus Entrepreneur Experience and Interesting Radio, wishing you all the best and blessings, and we can help you. Stan Houston at gmail.com, stanhouston@gmail.com. And may all your lives be full and fully alive. And May you live well. And may your journey be a heroic one. And may your blessings be many. And may you pass them on to others. That's the deal. Take care. I'm Stan, the radio man, and bye for now.